I got them freckles, girl, all over my body. I got them freckles, girl, all over my body.
When I was a kid, my hair was black.
Hey guys! Is it like a law or something that YouTubers have to say, hey guys? Anyways, so thanks for watching my video, and please consider subscribing. Dude! What are you doing?
I'm shooting my YouTube video.
I know, but there's a whole planet. Why do you have to stand there?
Because everyone knows this empty parking lot gets the best reception.
Good call.
Guys, this is the problem with life.
Thanks for watching my video, and I hope to see you soon. Keep subscribing.
Darren Carter, how are you, buddy?
My man, what's happening, buddy?
This is so cool.
I know, I think we're doing this correctly. Yes, we are. All right. Beautiful. All right, guys, listen, this is, let me start out by saying thank you for listening to Pocket Party. I'm comedian Darren Carter. On the phone, I have my good friend and I would say mentor, Gilbert Esquivel. How are you, Gilbert?
Ooh, well, I call you a mentor, too. We mentored each other, buddy. I learned a lot from you, and you learned a lot from me.
Fantastic. You know what I want to give a shout out to my sponsor real quick. They're called the Thai Room. If you guys are ever in Burbank, California, one of the main streets is called Hollywood Way. It's a good landmark would be about a block away from Porto's. So whenever there's that line at Porto's and you're like, man, there's too much people here, go down to the Thai Room, because the Thai Room is awesome, man. It's the address is 821 North Hollywood Way, and I love the Thai Room because they have chicken, vegetables, all the healthy stuff that I like. I know some people are like, oh, I don't know what Thai food's like. Dude, if you like chicken, if you like vegetables, if you like rice, if you like noodles, you like Thai food. And tell them you want the Darren Carter Friend Special, the Darren Carter Friend Special. So once again, Thai Room, 821 North Hollywood Way in Burbank. Let me plug a couple dates real quick. May 11th and 12th, I'll be at the Green Tree Comedy Club in Victorville. May 25th and 26th, I'll be performing at Pachanga Casino. And June 1st and 2nd, you can see me at Wise Guys in downtown Salt Lake City. Once again, subscribe to my YouTube channel because I put up videos every week. All right, back to my boy, Gilbert.
Yeah.
Gilbert, I first met you, I want to say it would have been around 1995, and that was, I think you were doing audience warm-up for the Family Feud TV show.
That was Johnny, is that the Johnny Sanchez? When the Family Feud Rock? The rock version.
Is that right?
Yeah, they did the Family Feud, but it was more like rocker, and Johnny Sanchez was the host. And that was,
Johnny Sanchez was?
Yes, and that was the warm-up.
I never knew that. I knew you were doing audience warm-up and stuff, and I think I want to say you had a day job back then at Levitt's or something like that?
Furniture. Yeah, I got into warm-ups. I was trying to, because my friend who worked there, he was friends with Ray Combs. Remember Ray Combs, the host of Family Feud?
Yeah.
Well, Ray Combs used to be a stand-up comedian from Ohio, Hamilton, Ohio. And he moved out here, and he brought his buddy with him who wanted to be an actor. So they came out here, and they were best of buds. So when Ray made it big, his friend still stayed. He was selling furniture still. So he was telling me all about Ray Combs and how Ray made it and how he went through warm-ups. So I pursued warm-ups, and I started doing shows like Star Search, Dances with the Stars, American Idol. I did a lot of those big shows, many shows that never made it on the air. I used to make a lot of money doing warm-ups.
That's cool. I did warm-up. I did it for about 10 different shows. And the thing I found out is if it's a show that the audience was familiar with, then they were a lot easier. When it's a new show, like a pilot or a game show, and they've never heard of it, it's a paid audience, and they're literally getting like maybe $40 in cash, and man, those are the hardest audiences.
Yeah, because they're mad.
They're mad because they're like, to them it's just a job to be there, and they have way more experience being in the audience than I had as a warm up. Like they were bossing me around. They were like, "Where's our candy? Where's our merch? Give us something." And I'd be like, "Here's a new joke I'm working on." So yeah, you learned the tricks of the trade, man. You were good. I can only imagine how good you would be as an audience warm up.
Well, they were mad though. The thing is those people, a lot of them were actors and musicians, and
Yeah.
and they would be performing the weekend before, and everybody was applauding them, or whatever. You know what I mean? And so now they got to come and sit there and be the applauder. They had to do the applauding. They don't like that. So a lot of times they're angry that they have to be there. You're dealing with a lot of mental issues too. It's really weird, those paid audiences. But what I learned, and not only that, you can't do your same jokes around them. That's the thing. They're there every day, so you can't do the same material. It's very hard. Warm-ups are hard. You know, people don't realize, but that's why they get paid the big bucks. And then you get blamed if the show's awful, which usually it is. You get blamed. The warm-up gets the blame.
Yeah, because they're like, because maybe you hyped them up too much, or you didn't hype them up enough, or
Ray Combs got fired off of a show for Danny. What's his name? The Who's the Boss?
Yes,
Because,
Tony Danza.
Yes, Tony Danza had him fired because he was. This is a story from Wayne, his friend told me, because he was too funny, and that's true. You can't be funnier than the show. That's what makes it hard, because you can't be too funny, but yet you got to be funny. But if you're funnier than the show, you make it harder for them, so they don't hire you.
Hey, lately I think I would be a good audience warm up because I haven't been too funny.
It's really weird, man. It's a weird thing. That's hilarious, though.
Hey, I want to tell you something, man. When you brought up, something I found out about a year ago. When you said that the audience, sometimes they had been on TV like the week before, and now here they are in the audience. I realized, I feel like there's this whole ecosystem of people in LA that we all see the Will Smiths and the people at the top, and we want to be like that, but we realize this town is built on the foundation of people's broken dreams, you know?
Ooh.
You know what I mean? I think that's why you have such attractive people working at jobs other than what they really want to do, you know, or funny people or whatever brought them as a magnet to LA, you know what I'm saying? And I went to my local grocery store about a year ago, and I talked to this guy. He was he's getting ready to leave Burbank, and he was in a really good mood, and he was probably in his 60s, and he told me he used to work as a background actor on Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, and he started naming all these different TV shows that I could pop on. And he goes, have you ever heard that song called "It Never Rains in Southern California"? And I go, yeah, it never rains. You know that song?
Yeah.
It's by Albert Hammond. It never rains in Southern California.
Well, it never rains in Southern California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he goes, it's not about, he goes, people think it's about how it doesn't rain here. He goes, what he's talking about is that guy's show business dreams. And then he goes, look at the lyrics. And so I pulled up the lyrics right here, Gilbert. Check it out. He's in the beginning of the songs, he says, got on a board, a westbound 747. Didn't think before deciding what to do. Oh, that talk of opportunities, TV breaks, and movies rang true, sure rang true. And then it goes into, seems it never rains in Southern California, meaning the opportunities didn't come. It didn't come for him. And he says, oh, man. And then it says, look at this part. He's out of work. I'm out of my head. Out of self-respect. I'm out of bread, which is money. I'm underloved. I'm underfed. I want to go home. It never rains in California. But
wow.
Girl, don't they warn you?
Oh.
And it says, listen to this lyric. This is deep. Then I guess he runs into somebody that he grew up with or whatever. And he goes, will you tell the folks back home I nearly made it? Had offers, but didn't know which one to take. Please don't tell them how you found me. Don't tell them how you found me. Give me a break. Give me a break.
Oh, wow.
And it ends. Can you sing it? Because I can't sing. Seems it never rains.
Seems it never rains in Southern California.
Yeah.
Wow, I never knew that. That is powerful.
Isn't that powerful, man? It's
wow.
Dude, when I listen to that song, you guys, and you're like, I didn't know it was like that. And I was like, wow.
You know what's worse than that, though, Darren? You know what's worse than that song is, I think, in my opinion, when you do make it, and then it's over.
Yeah.
Because now You can't, like you and I, we can't do what everybody else does when things go south. Get a job, because if we get a job, hey man, I just got your autograph last night. Now you're right here. I'm telling you what to do.
I know. I heard a story about a comic who had
Benny Mena.
Yes.
Did you hear what happened to him?
No.
He was driving Uber.
Yeah.
You know, he drives Uber. Benny's, you know, a young comic still trying to make it, you know, but he drives Uber.
And he's a dad, man. Anytime people start getting family in a life, you know, I mean, it's one thing if you're like, okay, 5 of us, we're gonna be roommates, we're single, it's the gold rush. I get it, but when you have a life and you have a family and a son, yeah, okay, so he's driving Uber.
Yeah, he's got a kid now, you know, so he's driving Uber. And well, last night, so happened to have somebody that he was at his show. He's picking him up the next night. And the girl was like real cool, but the guy was hating on him. He was like kind of like dogging him like that. So Benny told him something back. And I don't know I can't remember what he told me. It was funny, but it was just weird. I mean, and I've done that before. When I went into the bank one time,
What did Benny tell him back? Benny was like, you know what? I'm gonna give you 1 star on my review of you as a passenger.
Benny gave him a bad review. Now the poor guy can't get an Uber ride no more.
I know, exactly.
No. So what happened? One time I went into the bank and the bank manager was black, and he comes out of his office and he recognized me from BET, from Comic View.
Yeah.
Man, this dude made the biggest scene at the bank. This is the bank manager. He forgot about the bank manager. He got loud. What's up, man? Oh my God, you're from BT. This is a celebrity, a movie star, and all kinds of stuff, man.
Man.
He didn't realize I got $150 to shoot BET, right? So he's bragging, introducing me to all the customers and all the tellers, and I'm literally the center of attention. And I'm there to cash my unemployment check, man.
Oh.
That was embarrassing, dude. That was embarrassing.
Oh my God. I know, it's funny because to get recognized, the fame part is easy to get. The richest part is the hard part, I think, for show business in a sense, you know, like, yeah. So you know, we get a taste of what it's like to be recognized, you know, like especially when you do like those high profile cable shows that they would run the heck out of. It's pretty awesome. But then there's the downside, like you said, because then it's like, you know, like one time I was on TV and I literally was like walking to the coffee shop and this guy pulled over. I guess it just shocked him that he saw me on the Tonight Show. And the next day I'm walking to like the local coffee shop, and he had pulled over on the side of the road to make a phone call, and he saw me. He goes, hey man, I just saw you on TV last night. He's like, what are you doing walking? You know, as if I'm supposed to like just float or some shit. Yeah, that wasn't really embarrassing, but it was awkward, I guess, just because, you know, you don't realize like, wow, I guess people really do recognize you, but it's not like it's overnight. At least in the stuff I've done, it's not like all of a sudden. I remember when I did the movie Be Cool with John Travolta.
Oh yeah, yes.
I was in a couple scenes with John Travolta, and I remember like my first comedy show after that was on Sunset at this place called Miyagi's. Now it's called Pinchy Tacos, I think. Or something. I don't know what it's called. It's called something, but maybe it's not called that. Whatever, it's called something, but. I remember like this lady and her daughter were like, excuse me. And I was at the end of the bar and I thought they were going to either ask me a question or ask me what time my set was. And they go, were you in the movie Be Cool with John Travolta? And I was like, yes. And I was thinking to myself, and so it begins. But but I only got recognized by them. I mean, it was the next time I think I got recognized was probably like 6 months later when I went home for Christmas.
Yeah, no, man. It's this, believe me, people make a big deal out of that, though. To them, to us, it's just like, but I remember the first time I saw my friend Patty Darren from junior high school in my drama class. She was in a movie, and I went to the movies, and she was just an extra sitting in the stands at a game. And I got so excited. I thought, I mean, literally, I thought she was a star of the movie because that's how proud I was just to know her and to know that someone I knew was in a movie. So it's a big deal to them. You know,
it is, man. It is cool. It's still cool when I see people on stuff. I'm like, I know them. It's cool. But yeah, I heard the lyrics to that song and it tripped me out when I really looked into it. And it's like, You know, oh, I know a story I was going to tell you. Like, I heard about a comic who, circling back to when comedians, you know, have, this guy apparently somewhere in the Midwest, he was doing shows, selling his merch, and then he went back to waiting tables, and I guess the people in the his customers were actually wearing his T-shirt that he had sold them like a year before,
no.
like a year before or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Dude.
yeah.
That's humbling, man. That's
Humbling,
like, you
man.
remember Three Dog Night?
Yes.
The lead singer was named Taylor Negron or Taylor something. I forgot. Or something Chuck Negron. That's his name. Chuck.
Yeah,
Negron.
yeah.
Well, Chuck Negron ended up homeless, and he was on the streets in some alley, and some cop, I think it was San Francisco, I'm not sure, but a cop that was a big fan of theirs when he was little, he recognized him, and he was like, no, this can't be. You're Chuck Negron. And he took him in, and he got him sobered up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, now Chuck Negron is clean and sober again. But this fan just broke his heart to see his hero in that situation.
Oh my God, I know. That's you know, Gilbert, you have a big heart, man. I don't know if our audience knows this. Oh, first of all, let me say, whenever I get in my car, I have Sirius XM. You're on that son of a gun almost all the time.
Really?
Yes, on Kevin Hart's channel. Like I'm on the Kevin Hart channel. I have 4 albums, and so I'm always like, when are they going to play my album?
Ah.
I get the checks from it, so I know I'm being played. I've never, since Kevin Hart's taken over. You know, it used to be the Foxhole. It used to be the Jamie Foxx channel. I've yet to catch myself on there, but even though I know they're playing it, but I see you on there. Like,
wow.
Yeah, man, you're great. Like that. I love that closing bit you would do.
The national anthem?
The national anthem, man. It's like so good.
Yeah.
Where the singers would go off on a tangent, like take.
They get Fergie with it.
Yeah.
I get Fergie with the national anthem, man. But it's true. I saw Marvin Gaye do the national anthem at a Laker game, and I mean, he took that thing. He just totally made it his own. You know what I mean? I was no longer feeling patriotic. I felt like making love to some patriotic woman.
Yeah, you're like
in the mood.
Like, hey, my flag. It went from half staff to all the way up.
I never got romantic during the national anthem, dude. I was all kissing on my wife's neck after that. I was even married.
Your future wife, you're like,
she didn't even know she was gonna be like, what are you doing kissing my neck? I'm sorry, I was feeling patriotic right now.
Super patriotic. I know my fireworks are going off. Yeah. Man, you know what? Oh, can you tell us the story about? I love this story. Okay, guys, check out. Tell us where we can see Gilbert. Gilbert, your Facebook page, Gilbert Esquivel.
Well, every night from 10 to 12, you can catch me on G's Night Owl Coffee Show. And that's capital G apostrophe S. And just type that in the search bar and it'll take you there. But it's G's Night Owl Coffee Show. And man, we play music, we sing, we dance. And all we do is we keep company. We're night owls. We keep other night owls company who can't sleep. But usually it's people that are hurting or they're taking care of someone who's hurting. And these are people that really never get out. So we go to them and we bring them entertainment. And it's working really good because I would say a good 70% of our, let's go 50% of our audience, they're sick with something. I'm talking about bad. And we've already lost 2 people who died from cancer who were listening to us. And we're barely a month old. And dude, they're in the thousands and the thousands. We get like 40.
Literally, I mean, and people, if you guys are into Facebook, you know those algorithms aren't. I really don't care for Facebook. Like for me, it doesn't. I don't know. Like it's okay, but for me personally, with Facebook, I find that it's mostly my personal friends or comedians or relatives and a few people outside my circle. So I don't feel like I'm really reaching. So like as opposed to like podcasting, YouTube, Instagram. I thrive on Instagram, YouTube, and podcasting. But for Facebook, I don't. But that's what was so impressive. Like yours, you put up something, and I'm seeing, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 a day views. I'm seeing people share it. Like hundreds of people are sharing your stuff. It's like, I want to, if you remember the story, I want to, how can I remind you without giving away the punchline? It was a story you told on when you're drinking coffee, and it was about somebody wanting to find love and not. And we're back.
Yay.
Yes, this will either be a separate podcast or the same one. Guys, I don't know what happened. I'm still new to this form, using the Anchor app to record podcasts, and for some reason it got cut off. I don't know if it was a time thing or what. But give shout out real quick to my sponsor, the Thai Room in Burbank, California. Tell them you want the Darren Carter Pocket Party Friend Special. And what else can I tell you? I'm on YouTube. Search Darren Carter. Subscribe to my channel. And we're back with Gilbert Esquivel. Gilbert, we were talking about rejection and love. If there's people that are lonely out there, people that are they're single and they're wondering, where's Mr. or Mrs. Right? What was it? I love the story you tell.
Well, I'm writing a book called How to Talk the Right Woman into Your Arms. Not how to talk a woman into. There's plenty of books about that. You know what I mean? I could write a book on it, but it would be a very short book, very small, short book. It's really easy. It's real easy. But the thing is, you can get in a lot of danger like that.
Yeah.
You don't want to just talk any woman into your arms, because that's how you get your heart broken and shredded to pieces. This book is called How to Talk the Right Person into Your Arms. So, but one of the things that I've always stressed with my daughters and anybody that I know that ever goes through a heartbreak, I always tell them that rejection is God's protection. You never know. You never know what you're being protected from.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times I tell the story of two teardrops, and there was two teardrops that fell from a bridge from two different people. One from one person and one from another. But these two teardrops fell down into the creek, and they fell into the water, and they met up downstream.
Yeah.
And one teardrop tells the other, "What are you here for?" And he said, "Because I didn't get to marry Brad Johnson." And the other teardrop goes, "What are you here for?" And the other one said, "Because I did marry Brad Johnson." You know what I mean? So it's kind of one was crying because she didn't get the man she wanted, and the other one was crying because she ended up with the man that she thought she wanted. So you never know, man. You never know what you're being protected from. And a lot of times, my thing is this, I always say the way you do it is basically be honest. You're not gonna know who the right woman is for you until you know who you are. How are you going to know what woman's right for you when you don't even know what you're about, what you'll put up with, what you won't? You know what I mean? Who are you? What are your ethics? What are your principles? What are your morals? What are your expectations? A lot of people, we don't even know ourselves yet, and yet we're trying to hook up with somebody. And that's where it goes wrong, because when you got two people that don't know each other, they're going to be fighting with each other. Now you got 4 people fighting. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is,
Yeah.
But if you get to know who you are and you become comfortable with who you are, then that's who you portray. And that's the words you speak. Because the words you speak are going to determine the people you attract.
That's true.
Trifling conversation attracts trifling company. You see? So you have to be careful with what you say to a woman. As a man, you got to be very careful, because your words are very powerful on a woman. Words on a woman are more powerful than they are on a man.
It's so true. You know what's funny? I find that I don't know if it's just because I got older, or I just became more mature or whatever. But I really don't find any pleasure in gossip. I find it's just like a waste of time. Of course, I mean, there's a human instinct where you want to hear just a little bit, but I don't dive deep into it and be like, and then what happened? And then what did they? I don't care about that. I feel like that's not going to advance. It does, like Adam Carolla says, does it make me happy? Does it make me money? No. It's like, you know what I mean? Like when I see people fighting on Facebook, that's why I'm like, I don't want to watch that stuff. I'm like, let me go on YouTube and watch a YouTube tutorial, learn how to do something. Like, yeah, we're learning how to, like, right now we're doing a radio show, a podcast, like, because I learned how to do this. And I'm like, Gilbert, let me share what I learned. And this is way more exciting, like, that we're actually having a conversation and able to publish this and get this out there and help others and entertain them while they're in traffic or at work or whatever they're doing, as opposed to just being negative. And you know what I mean? Like you said, like there's a quote, I should learn exactly how it goes, but it's something like, small-minded people talk about other people, medium-minded people talk about things, and big-minded people talk about ideas.
Wow.
Something like that. That's not it, but it's something like that.
Well, that's weird. I'm always talking about ideas, so.
Yeah, you're a big-minded person. That's true. You got great ideas. I mean,
yeah.
Man.
Check this out. You know that words, when we're talking about words, how powerful words are. Yes, they're powerful on people. Words are powerful, but it's just something about a woman that's different, because someone said something to me and it made total sense. It said that a man will use words to get sex from a woman, but a woman will use sex to get words from a man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's the truth. Because the way you keep and get a woman is by compliments and praising and lauding them and lifting them up and building them up. You know, you as the man, you got to create the environment. See, a lot of guys don't understand that there's certain things that you got to do before you even think about hooking up with a woman, because it's hard living with another human being, man. You're dealing with two different people coming together under one roof and having to deal with each other and they come from different backgrounds and different beliefs and expectations and way of handling things. And it causes fights. Simple things like how to discipline a child when he gets in trouble in school. That can cause a big fight between parents.
That's true. I've always said you could be in the car with Santa Claus and it'd be really fun for the first half hour. But by the third day, you're like, all right, Santa, enough of the toys. Let's talk about something else. Okay, I get it. You go down chimneys. It's like,
you know what I mean? Enough of that suit already. You know what I mean? I think I'm riding around with a pimp. You know what I mean? It's like,
exactly.
I'm looking for the holes in the back seat.
Enough, Santa.
Enough, Santa. Yeah. That white beard of yours is not even white. It's yellow right now because you've been smoking. People don't see you smoke, but I've seen you. You got brown all around your mouth from the smoke. Dude, you can do a whole thing on that, Darren. That's funny, man. That is hilarious.
So I've been married 20 years. It'll be 21 years this August.
Wow. Congratulations. That's a miracle in comedy, bro.
Thank you, buddy. And you're this is a miracle too. How long have you been married?
31 years.
31.
But the difference is, the difference is I was a comic before I started. See, that's the difference. See, if I would have been a comic already, I don't know if I would have been able to.
I see. So you were married and then you became a comic.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I was a comic already for like 7 years or something like that.
Yeah. Now some people who are married before they become comics end up getting divorced because of that. The wife doesn't support them.
Yes, it's true. I mean, because with comedy, there's the ups and downs, and then the emotional ups and downs, and the financial ups and downs. And I mean, like you said, you learn to, like, my wife is very encouraging. She's always like at nighttime, because that's when she could finally, okay, our son's asleep, he's in bed. She's done everything. She's like, okay, Darren, go out there. Give me a few hours. Go out. Like, which is, some of my comedy buddies crack up. They're like, really? Your wife doesn't beg you to stay home? Like, I'm like, no, she's cool with it. She's like, get out there, go to the Laugh Factory, go to the Comedy Store, go work on something. Like, so it's really nice, you know?
Darren, that's hilarious. You're saying, my wife's very supportive of my comedy. Every night she tells me, get out of here. Go take the jokes. Just leave me alone.
No, one day it was hilarious. My friend thought I was joking, but I was 100% serious. She was like, get out of here. Don't come back until at least 12:30.
That's funny. That is hilarious. You know, that's the funniest stuff is the truth. You don't even have to try to write comedy. Just tell the truth, man, and have fun with the truth. And that's what makes life. That's what makes comedy. Having fun with the truth.
And what you said, those personal interactions, like being with somebody, like you have to know who you are, And in a relationship, kind of, you know, learn to give a little. Like, okay, my wife, like, she needs her space. Boom, I'll give her space. You want, you know, it can't always be, you know, like the whole, like when you're just dating someone, you know, you might be more like butting heads, more like my way or the highway. But if you want these relationships to last, you got to give a little, and it goes all around the board too. You know, like I have a friend. I'm gonna have him on here soon. He's back in the dating world, and there's a lot of just super selfish people that are dating. Like this girl totally stood him up. Like she's like, let's meet at 8:30, and then she kept pushing him back. I'll see you at 9:15, and then eventually she was like, oh, I can't. I'm in the Uber, and then she's like, my friend called. She's like going in labor, so I got to take the Uber. And he's like, what? She's just stringing him along the whole night just because she has other opportunities, I think.
Hello?
Hi, I'm still here. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Yes, I hear you. Hello. Yes, I hear you.
All right, couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
What happened there? I cut out for a little bit.
Oh, you know what? If you can stand by a window, maybe you get really good reception closer to a window.
Oh, I'm in the car now.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was cool.
Anyway,
Maybe
what we were talking about, you were saying, I was saying something.
Oh, just a friend of mine who got stood up by a girl who kept stringing him along, and she's like, you know, and then it got to the point where she's like, my friend's in labor, I won't be able to make it. It's like, just feel like these.
That's hilarious, man. That's a bit, another bit. That's another bit. These girls, this girl. I mean, because that reminds me of my mom. She used to do that to me all the time. I'll be there right there, mijo. I'll feed you. I'm in the Uber right now. There's no Ubers, Mom. Uber's not out yet. Okay, well, I'll be home.
Yeah.
Now, I'm lucky, too. I'm very fortunate. My wife's very supportive of me with my comedy. But there's a lot of people that I know their wives weren't.
Yeah.
And my wife wasn't always supportive. She thought, no, you're just going to start something else and not finish it like I've always done. But she didn't understand. This was my element. This has always been my element.
Yeah.
This has been my escape. This has always been my friend. Comedy was always my friend. Nobody else wanted to be my friend, but comedy was always my friend.
Man, and you've taken it to some wild places. You and I have played clubs together. We've played theaters. We've played churches. We did a church in Anaheim, and then you know the only place I haven't that you've played that I haven't, and I think you've done some shows in prisons.
Yes. Oh, those are they're not my favorite because they're the most glamorous, but they're my favorite because that's where I grew the most as a person.
Yeah. Now, how does the merchandise sales go in a prison?
What's that?
How does the merchandise sales go inside of a prison?
I wouldn't know because by the time I get to my merchandise table, somebody stole it all, so I don't. They keep stealing my. No, I don't. They don't let you sell anything in there. They don't let you take nothing.
Can you imagine if you like all the merchandise is like pre-approved by the prison? It's like dry cereal in a clear bag and all that stuff.
Bro, telling you, man, it's like literally they got to tear everything apart. It's just not worth it. And not only that, the inmates, you know, I don't take checks from inmates. They're just here. Don't cash this till I get out.
They're giving you like soap and cigarettes.
Yeah, they're trying to pay you a top ramen, man. I was like, hold up, player. This is a DVD. It costs $20. not 20 top ramens, $20.
So male prisons and female prisons?
Yes, I do the male and the female. And the female ones are the best. They're the best because they're hurting the most. The female prisoners hurt more than the male because the male inmates, when you go visiting during the weekend, you got lines around the block with cars, and you got long lines with visitors, families and kids and wives and moms and dads visiting their sons. But you go to a woman's prison, there is no lines, no waiting, no nothing, because nobody visits the women.
Wow.
Yeah, because families are ashamed of the women, and they turn on them. Families abandon the women. Husbands don't wait for wives.
Wow.
It's sad. It's a very sad thing. You know what hurts women more than anything than getting beat up and raped raped in prison too, and I didn't know that.
Wow, I didn't know that either.
Foreign objects. Oh yeah, but they do it with foreign objects, so it's even worse for them when they get raped. And then,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, bro. But the worst pain for a woman is they don't get to be with their kids. That is the biggest punishment. They're taken away from their babies.
Man.
So yeah.
That,
So when they laugh at a performance, when we go do shows for them, oh my gosh, they laugh hard, and they are like little girls. They're like little kids. Women are like little girls. They turn into little girls. They you know.
You take them back to the innocent place before they went down that road of making bad decisions.
Yes. And I met girls who were once like bald and tattoos all over their face. And now that they're going to church in there, now they got their hair long again and they're very feminine again. Oh, yeah. They were telling me one girl, she was real pretty, little dainty, real small, tiny little Mexican girl, you know, light skin and everything. And she was over there. Hold on, there's a bunch of ambulances coming up here.
Yeah.
She was telling me that everybody was telling me she was a little boy. She used to be a little boy. I go, what do you mean? She goes, yeah, she had a bald head. And, you know, she had tattoos on her neck and the front of her neck and all that stuff. But anyways, now she was a really calm, quiet, long hair, looked really, really feminine little girl. I'm like, wow, what happened? They said she started going to church. She started, you know, she just started changing little by little. She started turning back into a little girl, you know what I mean? And this was at a Chowchilla.
Wow, I know Chowchilla. I'm from Fresno, so I remember Chowchilla. There was a Chowchilla. There was a, oh man, these kids got kidnapped on a school bus in the 70s.
Oh, that's where it was?
Yeah.
I saw the movie.
They kidnapped them and they buried the bus halfway, and the bus driver was down there with the kids, and I believe they finally escaped and got out of there. And one of the kidnappers got released maybe like 7 years ago. And there was I can't believe the guy. I mean, it's just awful. You guys can Google that. Chowchilla on the podcast. It was. I met one of the kids that was kidnapped. I did a show in Fresno, and I was in a limousine with and he was a guest of one of the other entertainers, and I couldn't believe it, man. I mean, of course, he was older than I was, but that was big news back in the 70s.
Oh, wow. Wow, I remember that. I saw the movie. I didn't know it was Chowchilla, though, man. You know who I saw? Matter of fact, when I did a show at a prison over there in Chino Women's Prison, I saw Leslie. Was that Kernwinkle or Van Housen? One of the Charles Manson ladies.
Wow.
Patricia Kernwinkle or Leslie Van Houten, something like that. One of those two. I think it was Kernwinkle. One of them died. I know that, but the one is still alive. She was there, and I saw her, and I'm like, wow. And my friend, she just got out of there. That was her neighbor. She was her neighbor, and then the girl on the other cell next to her was a lady in San Diego who killed her husband and the girlfriend, and they made a movie out of it. And then her other one was some lady who was a serial killer in South Central. Those were her neighbors when she was in prison. I'm like, what?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Get to know your neighbor.
No, man. I'm telling you, man. I got friends in prison that I visit, and their neighbors in their next cell were some of the most famous people in you know. And
wow.
They would talk to me about them, and I was like, wow, what a trip. Hey, but your story that I heard about you blew me away. Somebody else told me, and I don't know if it's true or not, but how you met your dad, your real dad.
I did. But this podcast, this segment is, I don't know if it cuts off at 20 minutes, or do you think it cut off last time because you were in the car driving?
No, I wasn't. I was at home already.
So I don't know if it's going to cut off and if it does, it's going to cut off in a minute. But yes, it's hard to tell the story in like a minute. So
yeah, I know.
I'm going to save it for
Darren, why don't we do this? Let's talk to the 20 minutes on this, see how it works, but let's end this at 20 like that, and then we'll try next time. We'll start out with that story because I really love that story. And then we'll test it
Gilbert,
out.
You're the man.
Goodbyes in case it does end at 20.
Go to my YouTube. Check out Darren Carter channel. Go to Gilbert Esquivel. Look him up on Facebook. Anything else you'd like to tell the people about?
Coffee show every night from 10 to 12. Check it out. We'll be on tonight. And also you can find me on Facebook. Gilbert
Awesome.
Esquivel.
Always great talking to you, man. You're the best. And you guys, thank you. And thanks for listening to Pocket
Cut off at 20. If we do,
Yes.
we want to say goodbye to everybody. We're going to find out right now. So
We have 4 seconds, and we'll find out what happens.
thank you, Darren.
You're welcome.
And it's still going.
It's still going. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. We should find out what that was about.
That was wild. Oh, you have a timer on your side also on this. Okay, that's good. You can tell how long. Okay, good.
Yeah, that's what's great. But I think we should do this, buddy. And you know what? Let this be our first one, and let's do it again. And now that we're getting familiarized with it, and
I'm gonna have you on all the time, man. By the way, it's still recording, but Gilbert, I want to say you're great, man. And this is exactly what I wanted to do. Someone who's worldly, has advice, who's lived, who I'm a fan
let's do it.
of, man.
Let's do it again tomorrow. Let's do it again tomorrow, buddy.
Gilbert.
Yeah. Yo, what? Yo. Dude, what do you want? Yo, dude, I'm trying to start my song here. Yo, spit it out. Yo. I got freckles everywhere, even in my underwear. Down there, don't stare. I use Nair, so there's no hair. Bare like a pear, not hairy like a kiwi. Kiwis are hairy, and that gets kind of scary.
Come on, baby girl, I wanna see what you got.